What's up, guys, and welcome to another Top 10 Zetas video. That's right, it is the Top 10 Zetas for January of 2019. I'm going to have to make sure I start writing the number 9 after the 201, because I usually still write 8, and I probably will for about 15 more days. But let's get right to it. The list has changed a little bit. Now, I have the top 10 Zetas plus 5 honorable mention. Some of these Zetas on here is like the entire character. Like when we go over Revan, each of those Zetas is equally important. So instead of wasting 3 Zeta spots on him, I count him as 1 spot. Some of them are the same, some of them are different, and I know some of you are going to disagree with me. So please, let's have an active discussion about it in the discussion below. And we're going to start with none other than CLS. These are in no particular order, by the way. Okay? Just wherever you're at in the game, where you're feeling like, and it's CLS's unique ability. Now, his leadership ability has become a lot more useful against Revan teams, but still, if you're going to go with it, we're talking about characters that are great in all aspects of the game. Grand Arena, Territory War, Raids, Arena, Fleet Arena, and these characters, in my opinion, help you out the most. And it's Binds All Things ability. I'm just going to read the Zeta aspect. Whenever Luke resists a detrimental effect, he recovers 5% protection. And whenever Luke inflicts a debuff, he gains 10% turn meter, and other allies gain half that amount. So this is very important. It's kind of a leadership ability outside of a leadership ability because it's affecting all the other characters in the game. And without Raid Han and Chewie, he wouldn't be on this list, but he is because of how amazing they are. So definitely think about Zetaing him. He is one of the hero's journey characters. Next, we're going to look at Jedi Training Rey. Is her, oh, not BB-8, not right now. We're Jedi Training Rey. The reason her Zeta, leadership Zeta, is so important because, again, she's useful in all aspects of the game, guys. Raids, Territory Wars, Grand Arena. Like I said, this is an overall process for the game. And it's just her leadership ability. If you have all of them, they're good, I understand. But her most important one is her leadership ability. When a resistance ally uses a special ability, all exposed enemies lose 5% turn meter, which can't be evaded or resisted. When a resistance ally uses a special ability, if they aren't debuffed, reduce their cooldowns by 1. Amazing for Phase 1 of the Heroic Sith Raid. Can't say enough about it. And she's in that list for a lot of reasons, and she's also a hero's journey character. Next, we will look at Revan, of course. If I try to read through all of his Zeta abilities, this video will take like 20 minutes instead of like 12 minutes. So 1 is his direct focus Zeta. This is the most important to be able to compete against other Revans in mirror matches in Arena. And it states, add buff immunity for 2 turns, which can't be resisted, copied, or dispelled, and increase their cooldowns by 1 and stun them for 1 turn. That buff immunity that can't be dispelled, it's amazing. Wonderful, wonderful ability. Then his General of the Old Republic leadership ability. Add whenever another Jedi ally attacks out of the turn, they recover 20% of their max health, max protection, and deal 35% more damage. When a Jedi ally uses a basic ability on an enemy with bonus protection, reduce the target enemy's max health by 10%. Stacking doesn't work against raid bosses. Jedi allies begin the battle with tenacity up for 1 turn. And then last but not least, the hero Zeta. Add Jedi Knight Revan is immune to stun and ability block, and other light side allies also gain half of these bonuses. The bonuses being the 10% tenacity, health steal, max health, max protection, critical hit, avoidance, defense, and critical damage. The bonuses are doubled while Revan is in the leader slot and not the ally slot. This is an absolutely amazing ability, and all of his Zetas are just as important. Can't speak enough about it. He is one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character in the game, and he's somebody you should strive to be getting if you don't have him by farming those Old Republic characters. So there's a reason he's on this list, and he might be on this list for a long time. Next, we're going to look at Grandmaster Yoda and his battle meditation. If you're going to run a Revan team, and not only a Revan team, any Jedi team, this is a must. Gain Foresight for 2 turns. This is when he spreads all the buffs from himself to every other ally on the field. Gain Foresight for 2 turns, plus 50% turn meter gain chance, and an additional plus 10% turn meter for each other living Jedi ally. He's going to be continually going. He's going to be spreading buffs. It's amazing. It's awesome. You don't need to use him only with Revan. He's a legendary character. Make sure you get him if you're just starting the game and put that battle meditation Zeta on him because it is amazing. On all teams necessarily because you can spread buffs not just to Jedi, but to everybody else as well. Next, we're going to look at Darth both of probably the hardest character to get in the game still, because you have to do the heroic Sith raid. Both of her Zetas, the compassion is weakness, leadership ability states when an enemy uses an ability outside of their turn, they take damage equal to 35% of their max health. This damage can't defeat enemies. When an enemy gains a buff outside of their turn, they lose 50% offense until the end of their next turn. Very, very good. And then Lord of Betrayal. At the start of each Sith ally's turn, Traya dispels all debuffs on them and deals damage equal to 5% of their max health for each debuff dispelled. Great. Passive dispel. We know how good those are. Definitely a great character. R2-D2. She was a raid character. R2-D2 is another legendary character, and I'm counting both of his Zetas. If you're looking to do the heroic Sith raid first, the most important Zeta is combat analysis, and it states while R2-D2 is active, whenever a light side ally scores a critical hit, dispel all debuffs on them. A passive cleanse. Amazing. R2-D2 is great in every area of the game because he's great with so many different teams. And with his ability to spread stats and cleanse light side characters, I think he's going to be very good for a long time. And then Number Crunch. At the start of battle, and when R2-D2 is revived, other Droid, Galactic Republic, Rebel, and Resistance allies gain 10% of R2-D2's max protection, offense, max health, and potency until R2-D2 is defeated. I like to put offense on him so he can spread that offense around. Great character. Definitely somebody you should be striving to get. Then we're going to look at Jolee. Now, Jolee's only on this list right now because he is the character that completes the Revan team in Arena. And actually all other aspects of the game. Can you win without him? Yes, but it's a lot tougher. Will he be on this list forever? I don't think so, unless the Jedi meta stays around for a long time, or he fits in different areas. And it's his that looks pretty bad ability. Add revive all defeated Jedi allies at 80% health with crit immunity for 5 turns. You can have one person left, or they can have one person left, and it's Jolee. And you could have all 5. And he gets to go and gets this ability off, and he revives all 5 of them. They have all crit hit immunity, so they can't take major amounts of damage. He gets a heal in there somewhere, all the counter attacks, and everybody's healed, and you lose the match. That's why he's so amazing. He's an individual character that, you know, is only good in, well, I shouldn't say he's only good. He's only good in one team, with the Revan team right now, that is. He might be good in some others, Bastila team maybe. But the team is used in Grand Arena Territory War. It is the best defensive team in the game, in my opinion, and that's why he's on there. I don't know how long he'll be on here, but he is in the top 10 for that reason. Next, last month we had a few debates about characters I had in here, and I'm going to go first to one that I replaced, Mother Talzin. She is one of the dominant characters in the game because she's part of one of the top 5 factions in the game that is dominant in all aspects of the game. I'm going to be saying game a lot of times. We're going to look at both of her Zetas, but first we're going to look at the Great Mother. When a Night Sister ally uses a basic ability during their turn, a random defeated Night Sister ally is revived with 50% health and called to assist. Then the revived ally is immediately defeated unless an enemy was defeated. The revived ally can't be revived by this effect again until the end of the next turn. Again, great ability. Night Sisters are dominant. And then Plague Bearer. When any unit falls below half health, Talzin gains plus 35% turn meter. Great for the Sith Raid, great for Grand Arena, great for Territory War, can be used in Arena in some instances. Really can't say enough about it. She is a great character. Now, this one right here could be controversial because it directly fits in with a Jedi Training Ray, but it doesn't necessarily have to because he can be used to spread stats and help you in all aspects of the game, and that is BB-8 in his Roll with the Punches ability. When BB-8 attacks out of turn, he calls a random Resistance ally to assist. That extra damage you're gaining in battle and stuff like that is crucial. And then the last of the top 10, let me make sure I count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some people may disagree with me, but I still believe it's Raid Han and his shoots first unique. CLS has become a little bit more meta dominant now with Chewie and his release, and he's so useful with Chewie. And it says 10% critical chance, and the first time each turn Han uses his basic attack, he attacks again, dealing 50% less damage. Attacking twice is huge. The damage output he has is just amazing when you have the Zeta, so definitely one you should be thinking about. Now I'll go to the 5 honorable mention. Note, I know some of you guys that are watching probably don't have these characters, so somewhere in the near future I'm going to make a video on non-legendary and non-Hero's Journey top 10 Zetas to have in the game. Just some of the basic characters that are easy to get, easy to farm, and how good they are, so I know you'll be looking forward to that. Okay, first, Bosk Leadership. He's great for Territory Wars, Grand Arena, in my opinion, on defense. He's great to get Chewie, who's a great character in the game, and it's his On the Hunt leader ability. Whenever an enemy suffers a debuff or resists, all bounty hunter allies recover 5% health and protection. Anytime you can recover health and protection, keep yourselves on the field longer. Plus, his leadership ability gives 50% max protection and 50% tenacity, and when they're at full health, they gain 100% defense. It's a mouthful. It's a very good ability. I think it's the best bounty hunter leadership ability still in the game. And he really can make them compete as a fashion on defense. Okay, there are some that I've had, a few thoughts about, but I'm going to go with Bastila next as an honorable mention. One, she can be used at 3 stars, so if you farm her at all, if you don't have Revan, I would suggest using Bastila in her leadership ability Zeta, which add 1 turn taunt on Jedi tank allies at the start of the encounter, and add plus 150% tenacity with protection up. There's going to be no debuffs being spread, like 99% of the time, across the field with the Bastila leadership. They're going to be having a lot of protection. They're going to be harder to kill. Okay, think about this. For one, they gain 15% turn meter at the beginning of the battle, and 200% up protection. I mean, definitely if you don't have Revan, she's viable at 3 stars. That's the reason she's in the honorable mention, because she is useful. Even though she's usually used in a support role with Revan, she's a great leader if you don't have him. Now we're going to look at Darth Sion. Fell out of the top 10. It's his Lord of Pain ability, and it states, at the end of each turn, Sion inflicts pain for 3 turns on enemies who damaged him that turn. When they have pain, he can easily get to Held by Hatred, or get to it a lot quicker, and he can become an unstoppable tank against certain teams, and it's hard to beat. So think about it that way. Next, we are going to go to another Night Sister. This person probably could have been flipped out with the other Night Sister, depending on where you're going. I think Mother Talzin is better, but it's Asajj Ventress, and it's both of her abilities. I right now don't have her leadership Zeted. I have her Rampage Zeted, so we'll read that first. Plus 75% turn meter gain chance, plus 5% offense, plus 5% critical chance, and when an ally or enemy is defeated, Asajj gains plus 5% max health until the end of the encounter. What this ability does is when an enemy or ally is defeated, she gains turn meter, and she gains offense, crit chance, and max health stacking until the end of the encounter. Okay, this is amazing in the tank raid. It's amazing when you're going to be facing lots of enemies, in the Sith raid as well. So that's why it's a great ability. And then her leadership ability is plus 25% turn meter reduction chance, plus 10% turn meter reduction. Night Sisters gain 50% turn meter when they fall below 100% health. It's kind of similar to Mother Talzin's. It doesn't have as much to do with Plague. This is probably the better leader in Phase 4 of the Heroic Sith Raid, but really you can't go wrong with Talzin either. And then the last character we're going to look at is where I had a fight for this spot with. There's 2 characters I had a fight with this spot. If I was going to go top 16, it would easily have been Chewie and his Loyal Friend ability, which you should still think about. But I'm actually going to make it with Nest, because Nest, not against Revan teams anymore, she's not nearly as good. She is viable at 3 stars, even with her Fighting Instinct Zeted. It's add taunt ignore, adds 2% health steal stacking when enemy loses a buff or debuff. She's going to be gaining health. She's going to be stealing health. She can survive forever and ever and ever, and that's what makes her so good in the game. Again, I know these characters are trickier to obtain, but they are flat out the best Zetas in the game. Again, like I said, I'll be making another our top 10 Zeta video, maybe within the next few weeks on, non-legendary, non-heroic characters in the game to get. So there you have it. If you agree with me, please leave comments in the comment section below. If you disagree with me, please leave comments in the comment section below. There can be arguments for Finn, who's still a great... Him and Veers are going to be on the non-hero journey, because they're still great Zetas as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash the subscribe button, like the video, click the notification bell so you can be alerted to all videos that I post. Also, I'm leaving a link to my Discord server and Patreon page in the description below. Make sure you check that out. And again, the comments, give me video ideas as well. Not only can you positively criticize and agree or disagree with me and we can have a discussion, your video ideas really carry me. Otherwise, peace out and may the Force be with you.